Dear Diary, it is Saturday, March 28th, 2020. It seems, since the last time I was here, that the world has gone a little crazy, but I'm here. I was here, I am here, and I will be here, and so will, I think, most of everyone else. I think the biggest thing that's standing in people's way right now is themselves, as it has been proven many times in times of crisis in the past. It looks like we are our own biggest enemy, but only if we let it be that way, because I feel like if you program yourself or reprogram yourself to see things differently and to look at it as a lesson as it really is, rather than a punishment, then you'll be okay. I think this is a wonderful time to relearn how to communicate with yourself, how to be by yourself, how to just look at yourself in the mirror and really like what you see, rather than judge yourself and say, oh my god, I'm not good enough, or I'm this or I'm that, and all this is bad, and what kind of situation am I in, and oh my god, why do I deserve this? It's much healthier to just be, and just be grateful for what you have, and understand that everything comes to you for a reason, everything happens for you for a reason, and all that sort of stuff. As for me, last month I got a new guitar right before everything snapped. It was very interesting, very good timing. I wanted this guitar. I talked about it on the diary, actually. I wanted a Fender Stratocaster, and on February 27th, which was right before the really big outbreak in the whole wide world, I went to a guitar store. The idea was I want to try some things out. I want to try these Strats, and I want to see what feels comfortable, and maybe if they make something for me, like if they do something for me in terms of price to make it a little, a little more, a little nicer, I might buy it. And there was this guitar that I really liked in there, apart, one Stratocaster out of all the ones on display and everything that wasn't actually on display, but I really liked the maple neck, I really liked the color, and I was basically hooked, and the price that they gave me was very nice. So I just took it, and I went in there with the idea of trying some things out, and we'll see how it goes. Came out of the store with a new guitar, so it's absolutely wonderful. Then at work, things got a little crazy, like in the beginning of March. Got to do some things that weren't exactly part of the contract, and I got a little upset, and I tried to handle it as best I could, and I think I managed it fairly well, although it was just like in my own head, like once again, it was this sort of thing, like perspective of, had I thought about it differently, maybe it would have been a more positive situation for me, but like overall it ended fine. There was nothing really, there was no real conflict there. It was just me in my own head making things up, like why and what is this, and I didn't sign on for this, and etc. Things panned out with that, and then the whole coronavirus thing really kicked off, and I was let off for a month. So currently I'm at home, have been for a couple of weeks out of work, and thankfully I'm okay financially, I'm okay mentally. I haven't really left the house much, except for just to get out for a couple minutes to start up the car and drive around a little bit, just to have the car run for a bit, but that's about it. I haven't really left the house in 2.5 weeks, something like that. My sanity is okay. I think mostly I'm good with this whole thing. Like, I'm staying safe, I'm staying at home, there's plenty of things to do at home. I've been streaming on Twitch daily for I don't know how long now, but a while. It's fun. I wake up in the morning, I make my breakfast, I make coffee, I do a stream for 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours. Then I have the rest of the day to read, to watch stuff on YouTube, to watch TV shows. Westworld Season 3 has been finally released, so I've been watching that and been loving that apps just in a major way. So I've been keeping well, keeping busy, just staying away from trouble. And it's really nuts to think about, like, this whole situation. If you really, I don't know how much of it is told in the news, but it's very interesting and very unique and very different from anything we have seen so far in, I want to say, hundreds of years. I don't know when there was such a huge thing that happened. I mean, we're dealing with it as humans, we're dealing with it very well, I think. Seeing what I have seen, like reading all the stuff that I've read, all the little interviews with professionals and research notes and all sorts of articles that I've read, would suggest that we're in pretty good shape. But then also seeing the numbers, like how many people get sick, how many people die, how many people can be affected by this, the graphs and the curves and all that stuff, and seeing how this can be minimized or how it can be even worse if we don't play by the rules of the game. Because of course, life is a game, it's all a game. So every game has rules. This also has rules. You know, those rules include staying at home and staying away from people, social distancing, self-isolation, things like that. So it seems that if we play by the rules of the game, we're going to be okay, and we're going to win, we're going to get out of it. If we don't play by the rules of the game, things are going to get bad. I don't know how much of that is true and accurate, but it's fascinating to say the least. So that's the diary entry for today. That's me catching up. Hopefully I'll actually come back and make more of these in the upcoming future, because these days it seems like I have nothing but time, really. So I reckon I could find like a little bit of time every week to sit down like this in front of my iPhone and just talk about what's been going on, what's on my mind, and things like that. I was also the other day moving some footage, moving some files around through hard drives, backing things up on a different drive, and I found this show that I was making in 2016 called Vlogwar, which was me talking about news. It was very Zay Frank style, a lot of different camera angles and close-ups like this, very dramatic stuff, and it was a lot of doing this and a lot of motion and a lot of talking in a very certain way, and you know, trying to make a show, not just talk at a camera, streaming consciousness, but a show. And I'm thinking now it could be interesting to come back to it, maybe not in that same format, but something similar where I could talk about stuff that's going on in the world, try to make light of it in some way, try to maybe find the ridiculousness in it, try to find the humor in it. I don't know. Again, it's an idea, and this is one of the things that I love about the diary, and you know, this is why it's good to do it when I do get to do it. It's just throwing ideas out like this and just documenting. The biggest challenge with anything like that, like some sort of news show, that when you try to make it fun and not just a news show, is finding material, finding articles that could be funny, could be fun, something you can make fun of, not just, you know, death and sickness and things like that. You could joke about certain aspects of the coronavirus, but not everything. And like finding the right material probably is the biggest challenge around this time. So if I can manage that, I think I can make this show. But anyway, it's good catching up, and hope to be back here again soon.